Offensive has escalated as we speak. The IDF has vowed to destroy all terror infrastructure of Hamas. To talk about it and to talk about the narrative that has been going on ever since the October 7 strike by Hamas on Israel, I have with me Guy Nir, the spokesperson of the Israeli Embassy in India. Guy, thank you for speaking to Times Now. Welcome to the show. The IDF has expanded its ground offensive, which means that they are now hitting Hamas infrastructure from land, air and through water.
Right. The situation in Israel is, I'm sure you know, from October 7th, the horrible attack on Israeli civilians has reached a point where Israel has realized that, this is a new ball game. This is unlike something we encountered before. And Israel has started the attack by air and is gradually now seeing how to continue also by land, as you reported. And we're looking ahead to neutralize the threats that is Hamas, to protect our civilians. We can't allow for anything like what happened on October 7th to ever happen again. We will take every means necessary to neutralize Hamas from being able to do something like this to Israeli citizens in the future.
Now, Guy, of the several disclosures that have been made by the IDF, one is that Hamas has been using the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza as its terror headquarters.
Correct. That just this morning I sent a lot of information. I'm sure that your station has received it too, with proof. When we claim that we have proof, then we have proof. Then we have done our research and we sent out information exactly where the Hamas headquarters is, where their offices are, where they're operating from, which is clearly done underneath a hospital in Gaza, which is a humanitarian offense of its own. They're physically using their people. They're sick, they're ill. People who go to the hospital can't run away for their lives. They're using that as a humanitarian shield to prevent Israel from attacking them. And that by itself is a humanitarian problem of its own.
Right. So, in other words, what you're saying is that innocent Gazans are being used as cannon fodder by Hamas, as Hamas clearly does not stand for either human lives or human rights. Let me ask you this. As a result of the ground offensive, Guy, communication lines and internet services have taken a hit. The bombardment has triggered blackout or near blackout-like situation. And because of this, there have been protests taking place around the world.
Right. We need to understand that there is money and there is water and there is fuel and there is electricity going into Gaza. The problem is that Hamas is taking everything that is going into Gaza, instead of water and fuel and food going to the people of Gaza, Hamas is taking everything into Gaza. So there is fuel, there is a way to make energy, but Hamas is taking captive of all of that, and in a sense, the population is their own population is being held hostage because they don't have access to these things they need, and then the international community is pointing a hand towards Israel provide them water and electricity when in fact they should point their finger towards Hamas.
Right.
Hamas, give your people the water, food, and energy they need. You have that at your disposal.
Now, Guy, let's also talk about what's happening at the United Nations. I don't want to get into too much of what was said by the UN chief. We've discussed that before, and he's clarified also he didn't mean to justify terror. But that said, that comment that Hamas's attack did not happen in vacuum was absolutely misplaced and shouldn't have been uttered. But the draft resolution that was voted at the UN, that was put to vote at the UNGA, that did not even have the word Hamas. Can you believe it?
I think that what we're witnessing here is a hypocrisy. We have the world countries pointing a finger only when Israel is defending itself and not accusing when Hamas is attacking innocent civilians. It's very easy to come and point fingers at Israel. We've seen it done many times before. But where were those people 3 weeks ago when 1,400 innocent civilians were sleeping in their bed, minding their own business, and a ruthless, vicious attack went upon them and massacred them in horrible ways? And I'm sure you've seen the images. Where were those countries now? Oh, then, where were they to accuse and then ask to stop? They only ask now when Israel is defending itself, when Israel is going after Hamas to prevent anything like this to happen again. Right. This is the time when they come to and have feedback. I'm sorry, this is hypocrisy.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Guy Nir, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you for speaking to Times Now.